Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to Interlagos and this man's possible date with destiny. Well, with all due respect to Michael Schumacher, I think Formula One is ready for a new world champion. The great man has dominated this sport, winning the title every year since 2000. But now, two young drivers are the men to beat. And today, one of them is likely to become the world champion, as we've been hearing. 24-year-old Fernando Alonso has given battle to 25-year-old Kimi Raikkonen throughout the season. They put on a fabulous show for us. So, Alonso has a 25-point lead over Raikkonen, and that means that any kind of podium finish today for Alonso will make him world champion, regardless of what Raikkonen might achieve.
He's got a lot of self-confidence, but I'm sure it'll be a great relief to him, and he won't be happy with just one, I know that. You're quite right, it is exciting, it is a little bit nervous, but on the other hand, you know, we've got to remain calm. We have got 3 races to do the drivers in, but I think it's probably easier said than done. Yes, we are excited.
Let's face it, he is going to be world champion at some point. What kind of a world champion do you think he'll make?
A very worthy one. I think he's had a great season. You know, every race he's performed so well. Maybe one mistake in the whole year. He's driven races at the front, he's defended, he's attacked. He really has done a great job, and I think he's thoroughly deserving of it.
Jonathan, how are all the boys? A few nerves around?
Yeah, they're a little bit nervous. I mean, there's still the core group of people here that won the championships back in 94 and 95, but yeah, there's some nerves evident.
If and when, let's face it, Alonso wins this title, how will it be different for you?
Well, hopefully Flavio will buy us a new engineering truck. No, it's a combination. That's what we're in the business to do. You know, all these guys and girls, everyone who works in this sport are motivated towards winning the World Championship. That's what we're here to do.
Flavio, is it times like this that you feel like taping up smoking again?
Nice suit, the German guy, huh?
Very interesting taste in clothing, full stop. Do you feel like taking up smoking? You're a bit nervous?
No, it is the weather, sure, you know. This circuit is very dangerous. We have very good car, we have good position for the normal race. But, you know, if it's raining for us, it's raining for everybody. We need this about, we have 3 races to go, 6 points to make. If today we make 2 points, I think so, it's great. It's in the budget.
Have you given Fernando any special instructions for today?
No. Easy. We need treating this weekend like any other one weekend, really. It's not the last weekend for us. It's just a weekend, and in the qualify we perform very well. The mechanic and all the people in Renault done an incredible job.
So, 71 laps of Interlagos, Raikkonen, Montoya and Alonso is go! And here they come up over the hill right towards us. Montoya has not got a good enough start, and neither has Raikkonen. He goes down the inside though of Fisichella, who goes defensive. Raikkonen up onto the rumble strips. No contact as far as I can see through the field, but Alonso leads. Montoya is second, and it looks as though Fisichella is resisting Kimi Raikkonen. Down the back straight they go. Fisichella goes defensive, he can only move once. Raikkonen's going to try and take him around the outside.
He'll not go around the outside of there, but that means with the tight line, it means Fisichella has run wide on the exit, and Raikkonen has punished him for that, and that's a critical move. Straight up to 3rd place then to Kimi Raikkonen. That's a Ferrari that's just about to connect. Michael Schumacher just failing to connect with Fisichella, who clearly got wrong-footed down that straight. So safety car is out. There must be something on the grid, I would imagine, that didn't get away. It looked a bit thin at the back end of the field.
At the end of this lap will be green flag racing again.
Difficult to judge this now, James, because Alonso's having to back the pack up, and it's such a long way to the pit lane. He must not pass the safety car. And look, and now he'll just bolt and leave Montoya for dead, but Montoya knows about restarts from his American racing, and he's close enough. And look, Michael Schumacher under a lot of pressure from Fisichella already. There's debris down in the first corner from that incident, surely. And Alonso locks a wheel, but Alonso's gone a little bit wide. He's just back on track for turn 2, but he'll be slow on the exit. Montoya, it's very dirty around the outside, no chance there, it's just too dirty. Now he can come up the inside, he's got more straight line speed. Surely Alonso won't fight him too hard. He's got the better line. Montoya through then to take the lead.
Fantastic pass by Juan Pablo Montoya. Puts the Colombian into the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Alonso's really struggling as his tyre pressures have gone down. Whether they run lower pressures than McLaren, I don't know, but Alonso does not have the fundamental grip of the McLarens. I think it'll come to him shortly as the tyres build up. But that was relatively easy for Montoya. But immediately Alonso into the next corner, understeered badly too, and that's why Raikkonen is right behind him. So, and Alonso puts in a new fastest lap of a 1:12.8. Raikkonen picks up 2 to a 1:13.0. The lead of Montoya is down to 3.9 seconds now. Alonso happy at this stage. Fisichella's got his pace back. He had a couple of untidy laps, I think. But you're absolutely right. Renault will be, they're sitting really pretty if the weather conditions stay consistent through to the end of the race. He just needs to be P3. He doesn't care if Raikkonen passes him later on. Fisichella's form, he's not going to pass him, is he, his teammate? So they're watching Michael Schumacher and Jenson Button, who are a full 12 to 15 seconds behind Alonso on lap 18 anyway. So that third place is looking very, very secure for Alonso to take the World Championship, providing the weather doesn't come and mix everything up. Montoya does a new fastest lap of the race on a 12.8. Alonso responds instantly with a 1:12.6. He's now 3.5 seconds ahead of Raikkonen and just 3.8 behind Montoya. Alonso driving beautifully.
There's Renault, look, ready for a pit stop. This is lap 22. It looks as though it's Fernando Alonso from second place then. Didn't have as much fuel in the car as we thought in qualifying.
That'll put a smile on the face of the McLaren team. Now we've got to wonder where he is with regard to Michael Schumacher, who's got a completely different package of Ferrari Bridgestone underneath him. This is a dangerous pit exit. It's at full speed because you've left the limit zone way early and you do have to be careful. That's worked out okay though. He's just going to come in front of Klein and Barrichello, so it'll minimise his traffic. And well, let's wait and see how much further McLaren can go. Raikkonen absolutely flying now. He's in the 1:12s. He knows now he's got track position over Alonso. He knows exactly, of course, how much fuel and therefore relative speed that Alonso had. Oh, and there's a different approach to the braking zone there. And how close was that?
Yeah, that was Alonso behind one of the Minardis. McLaren ready now on lap 31 for Kimi Raikkonen. There is the race leader on lap 31 coming in. And the big question is, how much fuel is he going to put in this thing?
And Montoya has maintained the lead, hasn't he? That Montoya went through there. Now that surprises me because Raikkonen putting in such incredible laps, but Montoya does indeed retain the lead of the Grand Prix.
But with Alonso in third place, Montoya was certainly saying on Friday that if that's the situation, he's leading Raikkonen second, Alonso third, which gives Alonso the World Championship anyway, then he expects to be allowed to win this Grand Prix. Currently, Alonso is in third place. If he finishes there, he's the new world champion, and he'd be the youngest world champion ever as well. At 24 years and 58 days, he would beat Emerson Fittipaldi's record by well over a year. It's pretty inevitable anyway, given that we've got 2 Grand Prix left in this season. But all Alonso needs to do is to finish in third place. Here's the world champion-elect then, Fernando Alonso. From third place then, he pits. He's got an 18-second margin over Michael Schumacher. That will not be enough for him to rejoin in front of the Ferrari, but obviously he will take the place back when Schumacher pits. The tyres looking pretty good.
So calm, Alonso. Pat Simmons was saying that, wasn't he, in the press conference, and he's got such a mature head on him.
He rejoins fifth then, behind Michael Schumacher's Ferrari there you can see, and his teammate. The thing that is just so amazing about Alonso when you talk to him is you forget that he's only just turned 24. You feel like you're talking to a much, much older person. He's very calm, he's extremely intelligent, and well, what a career he's had. It's been a pretty meteoric rise through the ranks to Formula One. He first started driving when he was 3 years old. His father bought a go-kart for his sister, who was 4 years older, and she didn't fancy it, didn't enjoy it really, so she said, no, not bothered. Fernando, the 3-year-old, was saying, hey, adapt it for me. So they put wooden blocks on the pedals, they put a cushion on the seat, and Alonso started driving around the garden in Oviedo, in the Asturias region of northern Spain, and he had the bug from that very young age. Started racing go-karts when he was 7, and by the age of 16 he was the world kart champion, and from then on Flavio Briatore picked him up, brought him into Formula One, and now he's on his way to becoming the youngest ever world champion. Very nervous looking Flavio Briatore. He was the man who picked Alonso up and managed him. When Briatore was on a brief spell away from Formula One racing, he left the Benetton team, had a couple of years out of Formula One. That was when he picked up Alonso and steered his career ever since with such spectacular results. At the moment, Alonso looking good in 3rd place, just 20 seconds behind. There he is, keeping calm as he has throughout 2005. World champion-elect, just 8 more laps of this 2.6-mile circuit. Less than 20 miles separates Alonso from the world title. A lot of smiles there amongst the mechanics. They've worked so hard. They've been working 24/7 in the wind tunnel at Renault to try and find more speed. Dino Toso, who is suffering from cancer, what a brave man he is. He's been working flat out to find more speed. His aerodynamics team have done a super job this year, and they've given Alonso the car with which he could challenge and score all these points and give himself such a strong position.
Supreme consistency for Fernando Alonso. His last 5 lap times have all been within the same 1/10 of a second, 1:13.5, and he's just in his own. He's just got it exactly where he needs it.
5 laps of 1:13.5. That is the driving of a champion. Steve Nielsen there, the team manager of Renault, just looking up at the sky to see if we're going to get a little bit of rain. Just over his shoulder was Pat Simmons, who personally I'm most happy about his role in all of this. He was one of the dream team with Rory Byrne, Ross Brawn and Michael Schumacher that won those titles in the mid-90s. They all cleared off, got the big bucks at Ferrari and won many world championships. Now it's Pat's turn, and well, certainly as far as the Drivers' Championship is concerned, he's going to bring another young man through Clarence as we work the last few laps of this historic Grand Prix. An overused word in sport, but this genuinely is a historic Grand Prix, because this young man here, at 24 years and 58 days, is about to give a new mark for the youngest ever world championship. And interestingly, Emerson Fittipaldi was sought out for a quote about Alonso, and he said, I have huge respect for Alonso. He's a great talent. The record that I've held for so long, since 1972, as the youngest ever world champion, will be in safe hands with him. You can get no higher tribute from no greater a driver than Emerson Fittipaldi. Montoya is going to come through and head home. Kimi Raikkonen, whose neck is going to be very sore at the end of this Grand Prix. 30 years old with a huge contingent of local fans. Juan Pablo Montoya puts one over on Kimi Raikkonen. He wins the Brazilian Grand Prix, his 7th career victory. Kimi Raikkonen is happy with 2nd place. It's Montoya's 3rd victory this season. Where's the new world champion? Here he is, coming up the hill out of Yucao corner. He can more or less push it home now. Fernando Alonso will cross the line to become the youngest ever Formula One world champion. Well done, Fernando Alonso! I'm almost in tears for him. He's such a super guy. Really, really is. Fantastic talent. Him, Raikkonen, Montoya, the future of Formula One is in such strong hands. Jenson Button as well has to go into that mix. Michael Schumacher, though, I'm sure he'll bounce back strong next year, but the gauntlet has definitely passed on. The new generation is taking over. We have a new world champion for the first time since 1999. It's not Michael Schumacher, it's Fernando Alonso.
impossible to say really anything now. I think I'm extremely happy, and it's a very emotional day for me. I came from a country with no tradition in Formula One, and you know, I fight alone basically because I had not any help from anybody all my career, and I arrived in Formula One thanks to the results in the previous categories, and thanks to my sponsors, and now I think this title is the maximum I can achieve in my life, in my career, and it's thanks to 3 or 4 people, not more than that. We fight alone always.
Flavio, a moving moment for you.
Yeah, much better now and not the start of the race, to be sure. Great, you know, after 4 years, win a championship, it's great.
Few tense moments up on that pit wall.
No, it's okay. I need to go to pit.
Again, thank you, Flavio.
He himself did a great job all season long. Not only did he do a good job himself, but as well in terms of teamwork, and that's something which I know from my days in Benetton and obviously now in Ferrari, how important this is and how much they have handled that situation so well.
Fernando did a very good job to win when he could and finish ahead when he, finished in the podium and always scoring the points. He pretty much only did one mistake in Canada, the rest he was always there.
Fernando winning the championship is fantastic for the sport, no question about it. He will be a really, really good champion.
They've done a good job, they deserve it because they've done a great season, and especially Fernando, he drove very well, and I'm happy for him because he's a nice guy.
Minardi's first ever world champion. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. He's going to be a great ambassador for the championship.